Guiding hands in every storm, hope and love in every form, lifting lives with care so true. Kosua Kenya, we stand with you. Kosua, our steadfast guide, healing pain with gentle care, lifting burdens we all share, in last respect and troubled days. We light hope through every phase, strength and courage shining through. Kosua Kenya, we stand with you. Kosua tunatoa faraja, upendo wa kweli. Tunasimama pamoja na heshima ya mwisho, tunatoa kwa moyo. Kosua, upendo na nguvu. Kosua, tumaini kwa wote. Kosua, tuko kwa ajili yako. Tunashauriwa na Nolia, tunakomboa na ndoto, tunatia nguvu, tunakuwa mwanga wao. Kosua, upendo na nguvu. Kosua, tumaini kwa wote. Kosua, tuko kwa ajili yako. Kosua, tunasimama pamoja. Tunashauri wanaolia, tunakomboa ndoto, tunakuwa nguvu, tunakuwa mwanga wao. Kosua, Kosua, tumaini kwa wote. Kosua, tuko kwa ajili yako. Kosua, tunasimama kama familia. Kosua, tunasimama kama familia.
You're welcome this evening to our webinar on youth mental health, and already I can see our speakers in the house. So karibuni sana to them that are joining us for the first time. We'll be telling you more about what Kosua does, and as all and also just delving into a discussion. Yes, and see how best we can support young people. We apologize for starting a little bit late. That's 9 minutes past our time. And yes, we are truly sorry for that. But in a short while, we will be beginning our session now. I want us to enjoy a bit of music as we wait for our other speaker to join, and then we shall take off from there. Karibuni sana.
Respect and troubled days. We light hope through every phase, strength and courage shining through. Kosua Kenya, we stand with you. Kosua tunatoa faraja, upendo wa kweli. tunawashauri wanaolia, tunakomboa ndoto, tunakuwa
Hi. I've been speaking to myself the whole time, and I'm truly sorry for that. So, welcome to our discussion tonight as we talk about youth mental health. I thought my mic is already in unmute, but apparently I decided to do some poetry to myself. So we have our guests here already. We have Dr. Sangolo and Evans Ombeng. We are going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. And then from there on, we can now begin the discussion. Once again, so sorry for speaking to myself, but I hope that we get to learn at the end of the day. Dr. Sangolo, if you can hear me, please introduce yourself, your name and where you work or the organization you work with, and also the work that you are really passionate about. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Madam Jessica. I hope you can hear me clearly. Okay, my name is Ibrahim Sangolo. I don't really like the doctor because I'm a young person. So, Kita doc, it's weird, but Aisuru. I work at German Doctors here in Nairobi, and I work in a capacity of project manager, even though that is not my profession, that is just an occupation. I am passionate about young people with a key focus on sexual reproductive health and also mental health, especially for young women, mothers, and underage expectant mothers, especially in informal settlements. That is the work that I do here in Nairobi. I'm really humbled to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity.
So much for agreeing to be our guest today. It's an honor to have you. Despite your very busy schedule, you actually did create time for us, and we are grateful for that. We don't take it for granted. Now I will invite Evans to introduce himself before we begin the conversation. Karibu sana.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity that we had together today. My name is Evans Sombeng Aundo. I work for an organization known as Investing in Children and Their Societies, that is ICS. Our main focus is about family strengthening and also child protection. I'm based in West Kenya region, but I also have an experience working in different parts of the country, and also have a very great passionate working with youths and also families towards ensure that they get impactful and meaningful life as they strive to ensure that we achieve that equal and that opportunity to thrive in life. Thank you so much. I'm looking towards a very productive and engaging discussion. Over to you, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you so much, Evans. We have gotten to really know and understand the work that you do. And one thing is for sure that you're doing amazing work in the community. And we hope that our interaction doesn't end after this webinar, that probably it goes beyond the webinar so that our communities get to benefit from what we young people can give. So asanteni sana for that round of introduction. So earlier on, before as I was speaking to myself, I introduced KOSWA Kenya. Yes, I introduced KOSWA Kenya, what we do at KOSWA Kenya. And it's so unfortunate that the nice words, the way I put them together, I was speaking to myself, yeah? So KOSWA Kenya is a community welfare organization that focuses on empowering communities and community members through social welfare assistance and as well as empowerment projects. Yeah. So we have a number of projects that we run at KOSWA Kenya, and the umbrella of KOSWA Kenya is on social welfare. We help lift the members of our communities by enabling them to go through the season of loss, and also when illnesses hit, we enable them carry that burden without feeling the weight of it, or rather they'll just feel a little bit of it, but as KOSWA Kenya, we carry that burden for them. So how do we do it? They become members first, and then with monthly subscriptions, now they start getting our benefits. Of course, we have some maturity period for them, and then once they reach the maturity period, we work with them the journey. For more information, for people who do want to know, I will explain more during our after our Q&A session, so that we just all get to know what KOSWA Kenya does. But that is all for KOSWA Kenya on the intro part. And now, before we embark on it, I just wanted to really highlight some very crucial statistics that we take note of at KOSWA Kenya on issues mental you. In the meantime, I think we can have a little bit of this.
KOSWA, we rise as one, healing hearts and easing fears, standing strong.
You can dance to our tune.
Guiding hands in every storm, hope and love in every form, lifting lives with care so true. KOSWA Kenya, we stand with you. KOSWA, our steadfast guide, healing pain with gentle care.
Yeah. So I have misplaced my statistics, but definitely I will read out to you once I come across it, so that we don't waste much time. We will go to our first question, and this I will direct it to Sangolo. You have said you have some issue with the doctor part of it, but it suits you, yeah. So to you, Sangolo, what are some of the mental health challenges that young people face today? Some of the mental health challenges that young people face today. Yeah, Mike is on you, Dr. Sangolo.
Thank you so much. That is, you know, um, let me, for lack of a better word, an ambiguous question, because challenges ambazo vijana wanapitia ni mengi sana, and we cannot really say mental health challenges according to me, maybe because mental health challenges can either just be um, either an illness or a condition caused by something. So we can say that one of the mental health challenges that young people face is post-traumatic stress disorder, because of maybe experiences of parental negligence or adverse childhood experiences. So the challenges that young people face are unique because of the circumstances that they face while they are young, but the mental health challenges are on a global spectrum, categorized as either a condition or an illness. That is what I've just mentioned is one of the major challenges that young people face. Adverse childhood experiences, especially because of generational gaps that we do have. For somebody like me who was born in the early 90s, okay, 1990 something, see, early 90s, not 1901. I was raised with parents who came from a generation where their parents fought for the independence of Kenya, walikuwa Mau Mau. And so the way we used to be disciplined is the corporal kind of thing, unalala njaa siku mbili, or you are beaten with anything that the parent comes across mbele, hata kama ni thermos ya chai ama uji, and nobody, and you cannot take them anywhere. So it has been more than 31 years ago, but I can still remember specific instances where nilipigwa vita, and I can never ever forget, even when even if I live 1,000 years. Those are adverse childhood experiences that most young people face, even in this current generation. And now that technology is even, advancing, we are having very, very different challenges to our mental health compared to the generational challenges that I have just mentioned. I think if we can narrow it down to adverse childhood experiences and post-traumatic stress challenges with regards to mental health challenges of the young people, we'll be doing justice to that question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you on that particular. And I also have loved how you have been able to tackle it regardless of how it was structured. Yeah, thank you so much. One thing that that has really caught my attention on the particular challenges that you were sharing on is on the adverse childhood experiences. And as young people, we express ourselves on social media. We have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have every other social media platform that is available for us to share. And I realized that in most of the posts that I could come across on social media, we have, for example, there was a girl that was sharing on how they hate their parents based on how they were once treated. Yeah, it was something that happened long time ago, probably more than 5 or 10 years ago, but still they get to carry the hate and all that. So I think that is one of the things that a lot of people, especially those who are raised with parents who knew that kiboko is the way to go, you know. and corporal punishment was the order of the day. That one I cannot lie. So I think to some families it really went really too much. It was too much for them, as it did not just end on just caning and all that. So I really acknowledge that one as one of the mental health challenges that young people are still battling. Yeah. And I think with the time we'll get to unpack what really that means, and so that we also get to learn from you as an expert in this. So thank you so much. I will go to Evans. Evans, this one is for you. As we are a welfare organization, and we support mental health. We do counseling services to the people that we support. We also, by helping them carry some of this burden, we as an organization really feel that we have tackled just one part of just making the services available for them. What do you think as an organization? How can we better support young people during times of illnesses and also grief as an organization? That is an advice I want you to give to us as an organization. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jessica, for that question. Indeed, mental health concerns the result of issues among the youth. And there are a number of services that can be done to ensure that we tackle these mental health issues. Or one that I can mention of is the psychosocial support. And this psychosocial support can be done either through a group therapy or it can be one-on-one, whereby we talk about the group therapies, whereby we may have a number of youth seated down together. And when they share out their issues together, they come to realize, okay, this problem that I'm having, it's not me alone. So and so also has this particular problem. So when they sit together in a more of a group way, they try to solve their issues in a more practical way. And then let me talk about ICS, where we have a program on issues to do with the parenting training, because sometimes some of these problems, they emanate or they come from the family level. So when we have a component on positive parenting, whereby we equip parents with the positive skills on how they can handle some of these emotional issues at the family level, because currently looking at the family situations and even the current life is becoming so difficult. And sometimes the parents, they try to divert the difficult issues to their children. And this may bring mental health to family members. So once we have this parenting training, we try to equip the parents with skills on how they can handle those emotional and some challenges that may try to affect the family members. And then we can try to talk about the referral systems. We have so many bodies around the country handling these mental issues. Talk about the hospitals, talk about the professional people who can, like now we have Dr. Sangolo here. So once we do these referral systems, we can support the youth on when they have the mental health problems. They can go and knock doors and get supported once they have these particular problems. And then we can talk about support to the vulnerable households. Right now, life is becoming so difficult, as I said earlier when I was trying to introduce the aspect. If we can have this socioeconomic support to given to the youths, that they can try to empower themselves in terms of maybe economic empowerment. For example, the poultry farming, the simple skills that they can have for sustainable livelihood to enable them handle their issues. And then allow me summarize maybe a point around community awareness. Sometimes when we hold these forums in the community and sensitize community to bring up their issues in terms of the mental health, it becomes very prominent for them to address this issue in a more practical way. Because sometimes we have these social cultural norms, whereby, for example, the boys, the men are supposed to maybe cry or maybe share out their problems. But once we do these community awareness forums, we are trying to empower these youths to come up and share the problems in case of any mental health issues that they may be undergoing. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much for the profound answer that you have given. Uh, yes, I have captured pretty much like all of them. We have the psychosocial support. We also have parental training that goes to parents. We have clear referral pathways or system so that young people know where they can find help. We also have how best we can support vulnerable families through equipping them with skills and also just being able to support them so that they can stand for themselves. And also we have community awareness. And you've used one very, I think when I hear this, I'm usually like, okay, that men are not supposed to cry. And I'm tempted to really ask, but men are also human, yeah, and some of these emotions really get to them, and I think it's just normal for them to like feel to shed some tears. So let's cut the men some slack and just let them cry, yeah, for all they want. But at the end of the day, after crying, pick yourself up and just forge ahead for a better future, and also just to be able to really raise families in a good way. So thank you so much, Evan, for sharing that. As we continue, I will come back to you, Sangolo. To our audience, if you happen to have any question, any addition on what the speaker has said, anything that you want to be clarified to you, feel free to use the comment section and it will be addressed promptly. Back to you, Sangolo. How can young people safely express and cope with stress, grief, and the pressure of caregiving responsibilities? Caregiving is heavy, yeah. A young person probably is taking care of their parent, yeah. Let's say they have a chronic illness, or even a disability. It is very heavy, and you get to a point where you feel like you cannot do it anymore because to some families they lack encouragement, they lack support, and all that, where you're not even able to take a break. So, talk to us on how young people can safely express themselves when they are going through issues like that. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good question, sensitive as well. And in this generation, it is the most difficult question to ask on how to safely express, because, back in the days, there were no hashtags like my dress, my choice. So there were no concepts like how to safely dress, because uh, everybody thought in the community the social conformity was everybody knows how to dress. Now we have to talk about how to safely express yourself, because what is safe to you is not safe to the other person. Now safety has become relative, and even words being used nowadays are sensitive to one another, even if you are clearly, openly, and honestly expressing yourself. So it's a tough question, but from what you've asked, yes, there are a lot of young people out here who carry a lot of burden from responsibilities, from parents who neglect their own responsibilities. We have those young people who are taking care of their parents who maybe have chronic illnesses, and all this at a very young age might cause two things: number one, burnout, and number two, compassion fatigue. uh, so how to express yourself safely is to do it honestly and also timely. You cannot be seeing, maybe let's say it's your grandmother na kopale ICU, maybe anajaribu, they are trying to resuscitate her, maybe oxygen inaisha, and then you feel, what, this is the right time for me to say that I've actually been tired of taking care of her. That is not the right time. Even if you'll go ahead and say what you honestly feel about all this, then it will be the wrong timing. But also people sometimes feel that there is the urge to not say what they really have at heart. This is not even during caregiving, even at workplaces. There are people who, just they are actually tired, they have burnt out, they are there to go to person at workplace. Everybody at your workplace uh, wants to talk to you, Jessica, because maybe you are the most welcoming, you are the most understanding, you are the one who can listen to them. But what about you? Who listens to you? you know and so at some point there is so much to you, and and at some point you feel that you cannot take it anymore. But because you have created this culture, this conditioning in an environment that you guys can always come to me when, and this also happens to us as practitioners. So I'm not sure if there is a question about that, but people always ask, na sasa nyinyi wenye mnasikizanga mashida za watu, who listens to your problems? That is a clear depiction of probably at some point there is the recognition of you are also human, and you can reach your limits. So how to do it safely is to do it openly, to do it in an honest way without probably having the urge to lie about how you're feeling at the moment, but also doing it on a timely basis. That is number one. Number two, you should be doing it with the actual person where you're feeling the fatigue probably is coming from. So if you have been the parent to your second born and third born, because maybe your parents are drunkards or they're just neglecting your responsibilities, then the people you should be addressing are these parents. You cannot go to the third born uanze kumwambia, hii hata si kazi yangu, I'm just doing it, blah, 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 blah. You'll be also throwing burdens and also negative energies to these young people who don't really deserve it. But now to the root cause, of your burnout or your fatigue ni nani? Ni hawa wazazi. Because if they take up their responsibilities, then some responsibilities will be off your shoulder, and that will limit the the burnout or the fatigue to you. So who are you addressing it to also will make it safe, number two. And then number three, now the methodology that you use. How many times have you seen a young person, even older people, having relationship issues, and the first place they will love to run to is their WhatsApp status? Wanatuwekea hapo ushuhuda, they go to look for a quote on TikTok yenye inaumauma mtu, wanakupostia hapo, and then akiona hiyo siku hujaview status anakutumia inbox. So if I was to put off my counseling shoe off and then put on a hat of an M&D guy, I would ask them, how do you think that you posting on our WhatsApp status, and maybe you have 150 contacts, how effective do you think whatever you're trying to express satisfies your urge? Number one. Number two, how sure are you that the intended result that you want will be met? And you realize that actually you are just doing it out of frustration, but not having the intention of having an outcome. So the safest way of doing it is sit down, reflect on, this is the issue that is at hand. Probably I am really tired of these responsibilities. I am really tired of the only person in this family taking care of Guka, while we are more than 20 grandchildren. Why is nobody else taking a responsibility? And then number two is, now, how do I go about it? Which is the best way I can do to at least get the attention of these people and also air out my concern? And then number three, whichever methodology you've used, do you see it working? Yes or no? If it is yes, then go for it. If it is no, then go back to the drawing board and again check which is the best way of addressing all this. Ni kuita mkutano? Is it addressing it through the older people? But not social media. Unaandikia watu mafumbo hapo, wanakosa kuelewa. I think I have tried to answer that question. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you so much. So for that, I wanted to give you some applause. You have really For you. Yeah, thank you so much. That was profound and also very clear. And the fact that you even took your time to just go through it once again so that we can get to understand it. Thank you so much for that. So I will go to Evans, but before I go to Evans, I have gotten what I wanted to go through before the conversation so that we also get to understand why the organization exists. So, to our viewers, once again, if you have any question, feel free to interact with us through our comment section. If you have any addition, if you'd want to back up on something, feel free to interact with us through the comment section. I will be reading it. So we have some compelling statistics here, just to understand about why the organization really exists. And let's talk about out-of-pocket expenses when it comes to burial. So the statistics clearly states that in some African countries, that is African countries, over 50% of healthcare costs are paid out of pocket. And by individuals, making health emergencies financially devastating for families. So you get the need, you get to really understand why the organization is really there for them. So when you once you're a member with us, some of these things you really not need to worry about. We also have another on medical deaths. A survey by the Kenya National Bureau of Standards, that is KNBS, revealed that 1 in 5 Kenyans have experienced a catastrophic health expenditure, and that means they have faced severe financial strain due to medical bills. Let's go to last respect expenses or last expenses. The average cost of a funeral in Kenya can range between 50,000 to 200,000. That depends on how the family wants to go, either high or low, and which is often beyond what most families can afford without financial assistance. And that drives people to really go for harambes, for people to really go for WhatsApp groups, which sometimes it really becomes a disappointment because you realize the people you have added on a WhatsApp group are not really cooperating. You're doing harambes, there's a lot of stress. You need to pay the MC, you need to pay for a lot of things. So that is what I really wanted to put across so that we really get to understand where the organization is coming from. So once again, to our viewers, if you have any question, interact with us through our comment section, and we sure will read your comment and we'll answer your question. So to you, Evans, what practical steps can young people take within their communities to uplift and protect each other's mental health? How can we support each other's young people in our communities just to ensure that the next young person sitting just beside you is really enjoying the peace of mind that you're enjoying? Yeah, over to you, Evans.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. That's a very, very, very wonderful question. And regarding to that question, we have seen a lot of clients, maybe in hospitals and even in mental health facilities, undergoing very, let me say, high level, because mental health, they always have different levels. There's that at advanced level, there's that at level at just the beginning levels. But once these mental healths are dealt with at early stages, we are able to minimize or mitigate maybe the cost that it may take to maybe address these issues. So there's some simple things or some practical ways that the youth can take, and this can go along to support our youths so they don't have those advanced mental health issues. One way we can even talk about youth checking on one another, just taking a phone, just making a phone call to just know how is your friend doing. Today so and so is always happy, but today is not maybe talking. So just a matter of checking on one another to get to know how is the going, because now people have got different personalities. There are those who are introverts, they don't talk. So if we don't maybe engage them, maybe somebody may be going through a mental health issue, and once we don't engage them, then it ends up being escalated. And then we can have an opportunity whereby we can create some peer support networks. just among the youths, they can just decide to say, okay, we as the youth in this particular estate, we can maybe have a forum, like maybe meeting twice a week, and then they share among themselves how about their lives, how about the education, how about the working conditions, and as they try to meet in their maybe in their safe spaces, in that discussions, one or two may end up assisting somebody who may be having any kind of mental health issue. And then the aspect around stigma and social cultural norms that try to make men and even boys not to report challenging issues should be tried to be dealt with as early stages. Let boys, let men come up and talk about their problems. If a man has been beaten up by the wife, it is high time now the men and boys come out and share out these issues, other than maybe trying to commit suicide or taking other issues. So once the youths now come up and challenge one another, no, boys, let's talk about our problems. Men, let's share out these issues so that it makes other men and those other boys to be able to report maybe issues that they may be going through. And therefore, this will go hand in hand in addressing any kind of mental health concern. And then maybe talk about the community initiatives, like maybe the community activities. Sometimes you can just engage in sports activities. You can even engage in maybe community work. And as you try to do these things in a more practical way, we are able to address these mental health issues among the youths. Back to you, Jessica.
And also, would really want to give you an applause for you for really tackling the question in the best way possible. It is really very understood. You have talked about the peer support network. You have talked about just youth being the youths to be willing to speak to each other, just to find out if there is any issue with the next person that you're seated close to. You've also talked about men should talk. If you have an issue, please talk. And once you talk, you encourage the other person on the other side, whether it's you're in a different country or in a different country, they are also able to speak because you have motivated or inspired them to do so. And you've also talked about community activities or initiatives that brings young people together, and also just to enable them bond as young people. Thank you so much for that. So if I go through our comment section, I can see we have a couple of people that have joined. We have Hilary Magambo 1712. Karibu sana Hilary. We also have Felix Ochieng. Karibu sana Felix to our conversation. We have Naomi saying, watching you guys from Busia. You are doing a good job, Koswa Kenya. Karibu sana Naomi. We have Grace Omondi joining from Nairobi. Thank you so much, Mercy. We also have, again, Morris, Naomi celebrating, and we have Morris saying, good job. Thank you so much, Morris, for your kind words. So if you have any question for our speakers today, or if you have any suggestion, feel free to drop on the comment section. You can hear me? Oh yeah. Hear me? Hello, Evans.
Yes, we can get you though, but a little bit. You're breaking a little
Okay.
bit. Yes.
Oh, so sorry for that. I realized that my internet is a little bit shaky, but it's back now. So thank you for the confirmation. We go. What accessible support systems are available for young people facing family and health challenges or loss in Kenya? What support system are there for young people in Kenya? Sangolo, can you hear me?
I can. I had your question half-baked. Probably it's your internet. Kindly pardon, please.
Oh, you didn't get me completely?
I just had the support system. I didn't hear the rest.
Okay. Okay, yeah, my network is a bit shaky, but praying to the heavens that it will allow us to continue. What accessible support systems are there for young people facing the challenges that we have mentioned, health challenges, and also who are going through grief?
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I will talk about from a global spectrum. We have policies, including things like sustainable development goals, and one of the sustainable development goals is good health and well-being, and that alone should, inform policymakers and duty bearers of the essence of, good health for the young people, not only mental health but general health. In Kenya, we have actually, with the key focus on mental health, we do have the mental health policy of 2015 to 2030. It's a 15 years, developed policy. If you read through the policy, it has so many good guidelines and so many provisions that if it could be actualized, then as a matter of fact, Kenya would not be where it is statistically with the numbers of mental health with a key focus on young people. But now, like, I think this is now cliche. We've heard it over and over again that Kenya, we have very good policies, but issue is implementation. And so I cannot really say that the support system is there, but the foundation to actualization of such kind of things is the existence of the policy, and the fact that this policy exists, then it now just calls for more advocacy to ensure that actualization it happens and young people are supported. At a community level, we have community structures. Now, it starts all the way from a community health promoter who previously known as CHVs. These are people who most times are capacity builded and empowered with psychosocial basics like um, psychological first aid, PFA, so that if they find a young person who is in distress, they can support from there. And if the situation is higher, then they can always escalate through referrals, which is the key and primary mandate and responsibility as well. In our health facilities at sub-county levels nowadays, we have mental health focal persons in each and every sub-county hospital. Kama yenyu hamna, then maybe you should again advocate for one. But I know structurally they have been placed there to offer psychosocial support to the community in general, and especially with a key focus on young people. So most times you'll find the mental health sub-county focal person working very closely with the adolescents and young persons coordinator to ensure that mental health interventions reach out to them. And I think these are structures that are well governed when we talk about now the institution, the governing bodies within the country. Now, at the household level, we should also be having this conversation. And it should start with you as a parent, a guardian, or a caregiver. We should be having these conversations. Now, it doesn't have to be from a mental health perspective. It could be as simple as just how was work today? It is your kid. How was school today? Last week I got a case of a young girl who is 6 months pregnant. The mother just found out that she's 6 months pregnant when she was 6 months pregnant, but they live in the same house. It's because they do not see eye to eye. Mama anakuja jioni amechoka, anafanya shughuli zake, ako kwa TV kidogo kidogo, kwa simu amelala. Mtoto alitoka shule hata haonani, anaweza tu maid, mtoto alikula and that is it. So you can imagine for those 6 months, this young girl has been choreographing scenarios in her brain on how to break the news to the mother that I am expectant. Had we had a situation where they at least met and they had a sit down, maybe the young girl would have seen that this is the great opportunity for me to tell mom, and that maybe could have been the first, second, or even the third month of the pregnancy. At 6 months, the frustration has built up. As a matter of fact, when we she had not started ANC clinics because she was afraid, because of the stress levels, the kid had been affected in the womb, and so this is just to show how much that if we cannot start these conversations at a household level, the effect is way bigger than we think, even leave alone the government itself. Yeah. Uh, and then finally, peer-to-peer thing is working. You know, nowadays I see the young people putting up a trend. For example, the Nikokadi thing. It starts with the young person, one person, and it trickles down to everybody else. I wish we could now start a conversation of how are you feeling, unaendeleaje, uko aje, a mental health, tagline or something, and people can share the experiences and things like that. Peer-to-peer approach has proven to be one of the best and most powerful tool of bringing change. And so I will also encourage or also think that it will be a good platform for us to make it a safe space for young people to talk about their issues amongst themselves. So kama ni young people who have undergone drugs and substance use disorders, tuweke pamoja in a support group. Let them talk about the issues and best practices on how they mitigated the challenge. If it is these underage young mothers, clearly it's either rape or defilement. Wacha tuwalete pamoja. We put them in a support group to show them that you are not alone in this. Give them encouragement. That is peer to peer. And I think if we tap into that, then we can enhance our mental well being. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was really enlightening. Speaking from policies that we have in place, and even acknowledging that we have policies, but then the implementation part of it is not actually working for us. And also, you have talked about the mental health sub county focal people that we have, which is one thing that personally I don't think I was really equipped with. But now that I know, I think there are people that we are going to work with very closely just to ensure that the people across our communities are okay. And also, you have spoken about something, and I was like, wisdom, Clarkits. Let's allow for conversations to flow in our homes. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a very serious conversation. They're just a basic conversation of just checking on your daughter, on your son, on your mother, on your father, on your husband, on your wife, and just checking on them, like, how are you doing, how was work, and all that. Through that very short conversation, you probably would even get an information through their facial expression. They would tell you they are okay, but their facial expression is saying something totally different. So let's normalize conversations, mental health at home. And then the peer-to-peer support. You have spoken about that, and you have used a very practical example that we can see by ourselves, the Nikokadi campaign that goes across the country. And it's really working for young people. People are registering. So I think this is a conversation that, if at all we come with a hashtag or a tagline that we can drive in, then young people would be at a safer place. That one I can see for sure. So Evans will take us through our very last question. I can see our time is now up. Evans will take us through this question, and then we will wrap up from there. So, Evans, to you, where can young people in Kenya access free helpline, free support, or rather, is there a helpline or a contact they can really call that is free, where they can access mental health services?
Okay, thank you, Jessica. Oh, I think what stands out for me during these discussions, even as Dr. Sangola has talked about one of the things at the family level, is that family is very important, and how close are we at the family level? How frequent do we hold meetings at the family level to just discuss our issues? Because I know maybe in our African settings, the only time we have family meetings is when something bad has happened. But now, when it comes that it reaches a point whereby that bond in the family level is not that strong, and therefore you may need now to seek for mental health support outside the family level. So in Kenya, we have some free helplines whereby you can get supported through your mental health issues in case maybe you don't have somebody that you can confine to. So one is you can access the emergency services whereby we have a toll-free number 999, or you can dial 112. These are free of charge. And then we also have Mental Health Kenya. Or in Mental Health Kenya, we have the telephone number there is 0717. Somebody is writing maybe 0717 28 20 30. 0717 28 30. There you can get Mental Health Kenya. We also have the Childline Kenya. This is common to all of us. That's the 116. Apart from the children services, they also offer some of the counseling, maybe particular to the youth population. That is the Childline Kenya 116. We also have the Kenya Red Cross Psychosocial Support 1199. 1199. That's a toll-free number that you can always dial and get a free support. We also have these are very common body known as the befrienders. The befrienders, you can get them through 0722 0722 17 81 77. 0722 17 81 77. So for the befrienders Kenyans, they always offer the mental health. Just they listen to you and try to give you advice, and even try to give you some linkages on where you can get your support. They don't diagnose your problem, but they just listen to your problem and then see how they can support you in terms of linkages and referrals. And all these are free of services. They don't charge you when you make any phone call. Thank you, Jessica. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that. I don't know if you can take a minute to just put them on the comment section so that our viewers and audiences can follow through and also just have the right digits for the numbers. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So on the comment section, one thing that I would want, Evans, we good?
Yes. I'm just trying to put the comment.
One thing that I'd want Dr. Sangolo to touch on, we have Dr. Sangolo, you will touch on a question that Felix Ochieng has on the comment section, and it reads, what proactive mental health programs this one goes to us as COSWA Kenya. Yeah, but also Dr. Sangolo, you will touch on it from your perspective, so that also we get to enlighten people on what we are doing. So what proactive mental health programs are you implementing to ensure fewer community members reach such crisis levels in the first place? So for COSWA Kenya, we run counseling services to the people that we have within the community. So we ensure that the people within our communities really know that this is one of the services that we have. And with the vast, we have a number of counselors within the organization who offer these services just to ensure that our members are covered. And also when it comes to matters health, before they get so overwhelmed, we have a telehealth consultant who takes lead when there is an emergency in the field or there's an emergency with our member. She gets to be informed first, and then we get to carry that from there. So these are things that we do on the ground. And as an organization, we really looking forward to even expand further so that we are able to reach more people and just being able to do it effectively. Yes. So, Dr. Sangolo, from your end, maybe you can get to answer uh, regarding what you're doing with your work here.
Yes, thank you. So, Mr. Felix, for me as a programmer, we do three things. Number one, we do advocacy. And then number two, we do empowerment in terms of knowledge and information. And then number three, now we go to the service provision. And advocacy is we bring in stakeholders relevant to mental health. Like I've just said, in every sub-county, we have sub-county focal persons. At the county level, we have the county coordinator on mental health. And at the national level, we also have such kind of people. We bring them together to discuss maybe statistics, trends, and the interventions that the sub-county to the national level are putting to address these issues. Um, I've just talked about the policy gap in terms of implementation. We hold them accountable to whatever the policy is saying and what is happening in the ground. For example, the policy says that at least twice in a week, the focal persons should go to the community and offer psychosocial knowledge and information to the community at no charge. That is not happening, not even in chief barazas where it is the simplest structure to do that. So we talk about it as an advocacy outcome. And then now number two, in terms of empowerment, we do a triangulation with regards to beneficiaries. We have sessions with mothers or young mothers. We have sessions with young boys, preferably the baby daddies, because vijana huwa wanapeana mimba huku nje na wanatoroka, but it also has a mental health effect on them. So we look for them so that we do not cultivate that culture ya nitakwanga anapeana mimba na mimi natoroka anaenda zake, because of that. And then we also talk to the caregivers or the parents. We give them information. WHO has a structured manual of conducting community mental health interventions in a matter of around 7 to 8 structured sessions. So we use that and select a cohort within the informal settlements that we work in. For me personally, I work in Mathare, Korokosho, and in Machakos County, I work in Athi River Sub-County with a key focus on an informal settlement inaitwa Kanaani. So we choose at least 30 to 60 beneficiaries and capacity build them through this number of sessions. Wakimaliza, we take the next session. All this, I must say, it is subject to the availability of, donor funding. Si rahisi for you to do such kind of interventions at zero budget. So when the funding is not there, then you can only rely on partnerships. And it's also good to note that mental health is becoming an in thing for each and every organization. At our agriculture, they call me nowadays to do debriefing for their watu wanachuna majani ya chai. Kitambo, maybe 10 years ago, if you could go to an agricultural industry kuambia story ya mental health, kijana toka hapa, you do not know what you're saying. Sisi, we need more capital to produce more tea leaves. And so number three, then it's now service provision. When it now reaches to the point where whatever has happened, and they now really need mental health interventions, then we at German Doctors Nairobi have health facilities in the 3 informal settlements that I have mentioned: Korokocho, Mathare, and Athi River. So we have stationed psychologists in those areas to make sure that they are offering psychosocial support at zero fee for the beneficiaries or for the young people. Yeah, so those are the 3 interventions that we try to put into place. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So before I let you go, I think you will give us your parting shot, and then we also give Evans an opportunity to share on the work that he does concerning that particular question that Felix has put on the comment section, and then he will as well give us a parting shot. So your parting shots, Daktari.
Yes, thank you. I have seen in this generation that self-care is a very big thing. Shida tu ni self-care zao ni maybe sherehe, kukunywa, which I'm not against, but if you would really want to self-care, then please note that mental health, going for therapy, should not be an intervention where you are in a crisis. Si ile time unaumwa na tumbo ndo unaenda kwa chemist, no. But once in a while, maybe even once a month, if you just say that you would love to check in with a psychologist or a therapist and maybe just do an overall diagnosis of whether you are mentally well, mentally stable. It brings a very good satisfaction to know that your stress levels are normal, you are not depressed, the anxiety you have is for you as just a human being, but not on a high level. It gives you, satisfaction in life. So I would encourage each and every listener listening to me today that prioritize mental health as part of your self-care. Vile tu lazima ukule before you go to sleep or as the day starts. Once in a while, prioritize your mental well-being. Thank you.
Sangolo, we lost Jessica, kind of.
Yes. Her internet has been up and down, but at least we do know that she would have loved for you to share your work and also maybe a parting shot.
Okay. Okay, so much appreciation for this wonderful forum that we have discussed on the mental health. So Evans works with the Investing in Children and Their Societies, that is ICS. And our main focus is about strengthening families and child protection. So we work so much common with families, communities, and different social entities to ensure that we uphold our family strengthening and child protection. And we work in so many parts of Kenya, around 14 counties in West Kenya. We are also based in Nairobi, Machakos, Kiambu. We also work in Mandera, Wajir, Kilifi. At the same time, we're also working in Tanzania, Uganda, and Ivory Coast. So we try to bring all different, we work so much closely with different partners and stakeholders just to ensure we promote child protection and family strengthening. So we have a number of interventions that we do to ensure family strength and child protection. For example, we talk about teacher capacity in schools. We talk about training learners on life skills. We train our parents on skillful parenting just to ensure that they bring up children in the best way possible. We also have a component around social norms intervention, whereby we try to address those harmful social cultural norms that promote intimate partner violence and even gender-based violence. We also have a component around ECD, whereby we're trying to work with the parents who have children between 0 to 3 years. And then we are also very much common in the areas around ending child domestic work and also ending child labor. So we do much work with regard to working with the children, community members, parents, and also working closely with different partners and stakeholders. So just to wind up in terms of our forum today, I can say just as what Dr. has said, mental health is very important and it's very good for each and everyone to understand his or her mental health. And once you realize anything that is not working out for you, please, it's good to share it as early as possible, be it your friend, your trusted friend, so that you can get supported early enough. Mental health, si lazima ifike to that high level, is when you seek for mitigation. because once we address these issues early enough, then we are able to address our mental health concern. And then the mental health, hakuna mtu ambaye amekuwa specified that this atakuwa na mental health issue. Each and every person can be subjected to a mental health concern. So it's always good to just be open and share out in case of any challenge for you to be supported. And I think based on what KOSUA Kenya has done today for this online platform, we have learned a number of channels that we can report these cases. Let's make it now move from policies now to implementation and to making things to work more practically for us. Everybody should be ensured that we take good care of our mental health issues. Thank you so much, and back to you, Jessica. And thank you so much, Dr. also for bringing very wonderful insights during the discussions.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for holding up. My network kicked me out, but fortunately, you guys are super team. You know how to do coordination. So once again, thank you so much for creating time to be our speakers tonight. And also thank you to our viewers, those who have managed to tune in to listen to our conversation today. Asanteni sana. From wherever you're watching us from, we really do appreciate. We do not take it for granted. So I really would have loved that we keep going on, yeah, as there's a lot of wisdom coming from both our speakers. But because of time, I'd like to cut us short, and definitely we'll organize this another time. Looking forward to seeing you the next time we'll hold a conversation like this. And to Sangolo and Evans, asanteni sana, and I hope this is not the end of our engagements. We'll keep on getting in touch so that we can continue to empower and inspire young people. So from me to you, it's a good night. Thank you for joining.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Tumesimama pamoja kwa mshikamano na upendo wa kweli, wakati wa furaha na wakati wa huzuni. Sisi ni familia, hatuachi yeyote nyuma. KOSUA Kenya, tunasonga mbele kwa matumaini mapya, kwa Mungu mbele tunabarikiwa. Tukisaidiana maisha yanabadilika. Wakati wa mwisho wa heshima tupo, tunabeba mzigo, tunafuta machozi. Kwa msaada wa dhati na moyo wa huruma, tunatoa faraja kwa familia zetu. KOSUA Kenya, kwa umoja wetu tunapata nguvu, kwa haki na uaminifu tunajenga kesho iliyo bora. Kwa afya njema tunasimama, tunasaidia wagonjwa kwa matumaini. Katika biashara changa tunainua, kwa mikopo na mafunzo ya kujitegemea. Uwezeshaji wa kiuchumi ni lengo letu, vijana na wanawake tukiwainua. Kwa msaada wa kifedha na elimu ya kazi, tunapanda mbegu za mafanikio. KOSUA Kenya, kwa baraka zako Mungu tuongoze. Afya, heshima na ustawi, KOSUA ni tumaini la jamii. wa Kenya, tumoja wetu tunapota nguvu. Kwa haki na uaminifu tunajenga kesho iliyo bora. Kosu wa Kenya, kwa baraka zako Mungu tuongoze. Afya, heshima na ustawi. Kosu ni tumaini la jamii. Tumesimama pamoja kwa mshikamano na upendo wa kweli, wakati wa furaha na wakati wa huzuni. Sisi ni familia, hatuachi yeyote nyuma. Kosu wa Kenya, tunasonga mbele kwa